Hello and welcome to the Amateur Football YouTube channel, the London FA Vets Cup Special Quarter-Final. The London Vets is sponsored by the Amateur Football platform, so please go and subscribe to the London FA and also subscribe to the Amateur Football platform. Quarter-final results, quarter-final review. Probably the tie of the quarterfinals was Independent versus Herne. And I'm glad to say I have Mel, who's a goalkeeper from Independent, and Owen, who's the defender from Herne. Good evening, fellas. How is everyone?
What are we doing? We're good. Good.
Shit.
Better than Owen.
Yeah. And I'm worse than Mel.
So again, thank you guys for coming on. So let's go straight into it. Independent 4, Herne 2. I did say, I will literally say 100%, I thought Herne would get to the semi-finals minimum. So hey, like I'm not gonna say it's a shock.
Why you say that? They're a well-drilled side. They are well drilled side. I won't say that they wouldn't deserve to be there. Yeah, they just came up against us. Could easily have met them in the final, I reckon, or a semi-final quite easily. They're a good side, and they're not only that. I didn't get to talk to them much after the game because we weren't a bar there, but like they seemed like a nice bunch of lads teams. There wasn't much argy-bargy. It was just football, which I like to see when I play my game. Yeah,
cool. Through that.
Yeah. So Owen, as the away team, I'd love to get your analysis of the first half.
Oh, right. Okay. So,
and I can see Mel smirking, and I can just see Mel's little smirk,
because it went their way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we finished the first half 2-1. If I can be really brutally honest, and I think the rest of my team will agree, probably maybe a bit lucky to be, maybe a bit against the run of it. We had two free kicks, put balls in the box, and we're strong airily, and that caused 2 goals.
One was a corner, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. 1 free kick, 1 corner, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. Thank you. They scored. You guys scored a worldie. Poor marking on our part. I was involved in that. Scored a worldie. Had a penno. Missed a penno. Pretty crappy penno. I'm sure your man would admit that as well. And questionable whether it was given, but it don't matter because he dragged it wide. Pitch was horrific, but it's the same for both teams. So that's not a factor. Quite surprised actually. It was still on. Walking out. It was hard. It was frozen.
I did as well.
And even warming up, we were like, wow, this is... And thinking that they supposedly came out at 9 o'clock in the morning to check it, we're like, it would have been rock hard at 9 o'clock in the morning. But, we both had to play on it, so you can't, and I'm not using an excuse, just acknowledging it wasn't great. But yeah, it was, our play in the first half pretty much carried on into the second. We just couldn't string together any passes. Independent's desire was greater than ours. Their quality on the ball was greater than ours in unison. And yeah, we went in 2-1 up, but the halftime talk wasn't a great one. And it was a difficult one because you're like, right, we're winning, but we know we're up against it. We aren't playing well at all. We definitely need to step it up, but we didn't.
Mel, would love to get your analysis of the first half.
First half, yeah, the pitch. Well, I was exactly the same as Owen. When I was walking across the pitches to the pitch, I was like, "There's no way this is on." Yeah, but we were on a pitch that was kind of on a hill, and the sun was on it. But what was happening is the underground, under the top level, was hard, and the top bit was all just mud and slick. So it just made it hard to play any football. And we're a football inside as well. So without being able to pass the ball around, it just become more and more difficult. The only thing that we've got that helped us is that we've got some dribblers and some very fast players that it's hard to turn as a defender in that sort of slip. Even I was slipping in the goal. So the minute you put the ball past them, there's no reaction time. So you can just go, which was kind of giving up to us. And they went downhill first hill at the beginning as well. And I feel like that was probably an advantage to us. We won the toss. I would say that they're probably the best team set pieces I've come across. Yeah, they were well drilled. We should have been ready for it, really. We saw a video of them be at LSU, and we should have talked about it more. But I felt like we didn't come prepared for what they were doing. Like, they literally just sat, like, I had like 4 players, including 2 of my own, around me, so I couldn't come for any balls. And they just perfect deliveries, back post. I think they did one before that in the corner. They almost scored that. The second one they scored, and we didn't learn our lesson. Like, we gave away cheap free kicks around the box. And we're like, don't give away cheap free kicks. They're obviously good at set pieces. This is the way we're going to come unstuck. And they just rolled it. They rolled it. They had one on the left side. They just rolled it across the floor. It did a bit of ping balling, and they just. So the thing is, you put in quality into the box, something's going to drop for you eventually, and that's what they did. And it was hard to play pitch. So at that point, I was a bit of a worry. Like, can we carry on like this? So we had maybe 3 balls into the box, and they scored 2. So we had our own corner actually. And we pinged it to the back post. It's come through to Nino. He's chested it down from like the tightest angle, and then just put it in the top hand corner. So yeah, great finish, or possibly up there for goal of the season. Really? Until the second half. Yeah, but at that point, the one thing I noticed about that game at that point is that they were struggling to put passes together, coming down the hill. Yeah, and their build-up play was struggling in the middle of the park. It was more of they're winning stuff in the air because we're not a massive team, but when it came down to playing, we were really on them, like quickly on their touch straight away, because we know that it's hard to control it there. So that's where we're going to get the ball back. And I felt like we were stretching them a little bit in the first half, and they realised they were getting stretched. I also felt like they were getting tired, which is no disrespect to Herne Bay, but we've got a very fit team. We run teams into the ground. That's our thing. So by second half, I was like, okay, well, they're a little bit winded now, and we're going downhill, and it's only gonna, and we've got speed on the bench as well to come on. So I'm like, I feel like we were gonna get back into the game. Yeah, we did. Nathan did miss a penalty, our captain. He's definitely off pens. No more pens for him. Yeah, but I felt like it was either going to be a draw and go to extra time, or we were gonna come back.
Cool. And actually, Mel, could you kind of carry on in terms of how like you saw the second half going?
Yeah. We started pretty strong actually. We put them on the back. We got through a few times. The goalkeeper made a couple of saves. I think because they were coming uphill, it was harder for them to win corners and set pieces as well. Now, so like, and we're a bit more wise to it in the second half. I would say that we were playing quick out from the back. I think we gave the ball to Dash on the left wing. He just cut inside from about 35 yards and put it in top hand corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
35 yards.
Yeah. 35 yards. Goal of season contender. Like, absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper. and he's like, I meant it.
It was a cross.
Yeah, it was a cross.
Wow.
So now it's like 2-2. And 2-2.
I come off. That was a factor.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we went 3-2 up.
We went 3-2 up, right? I can't remember who scored the next one.
I think one of your centre midfielders, because it kind of burst through. Like it was we won the header in the middle. The questionable, we thought it might have been a foul on our player, and then the ball just kind of went through the middle of our defence, and your guy ran onto it, caught our keeper unawares. You could see I was watching from the side. He wasn't ready for it. Just did it first time, and it went in the bottom corner, didn't it? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it did. It was Nels. I think it was Nels who scored. We ran through. Yeah. So it's 3-2 to us. They got a free kick. Yeah, next week. And it did a bit of ping balling again. So they put in a quality ball, and it's come off our defender, come off to their player, gone off to slightly of the left of the centre, and their player just run onto it and just smashed it from about 7 yards out. And I kind of saw it before he hit it, and then as soon as he put his head down, I knew where he was going to put it. So I just kind of guessed it out to get there and push it around. And I don't think there was many more chances of it. It was a game of few chances. I think we just took ours. The next bit happened was that we put pressure on their back line, and they made the cardinal mistake as a goalkeeper. Call the ball, but run towards the ball. You can't do that when you call the ball. If you call the ball, stay in the middle of the goal so you can stop the ball behind. Because as soon as the player puts his head down to pass the ball, he's expecting you to be there. He also made the mistake of passing the ball to the goalkeeper at the goal. You always meant to pass the ball away from the goal. So if anything happens, it doesn't go in. And because the surface is slick, the goalkeeper got no chance to react. And as he's passed the ball back, he's just rolled it into the net. And then we just sat back for the rest of the game after that. We were just like, no, 10 men behind the ball and just absorb the pressure. We brought a couple of big guys to win some headers. And and that was really it. Like it's a high scoring game, but I don't think there was many other chances that were missed throughout the game. Like other than the guy, the one that ping balled into the 6-yard box in the second half, when I think it was pretty crucial because it was free. It would have been 3-3 there. And I think that if it had gone to 3-3, it would have been like penalties. I don't think it would have gone anywhere. But I don't think there was many other chances other than that. I think Nino ran through once early in the second half and missed, and I think that was about it. In terms of the game, it was like mostly in the centre of the park.
Owen, can you elaborate in terms of what like Mel's just spoken about?
Well, Mel was very modest there because he did acknowledge it. Had that strike gone in, and again at the time, and I could see it, the minute our man's hit it, we've all been like, that's a goal. And then suddenly the cat is just flung out of nowhere. Bosh, round it. We were like, oh my God, that was an unreal save. It was unbelievable. It was a great save. And you're right, had that would have very much changed the dynamic of the game. We were having a bit of an upspell then. We'd put some pressure on, and had we scored it, we would have felt it was justified. But yeah, crucial, ultimately, probably, match-winning save. So well done, you.
Thank you. I am the best goalkeeper in the league. So,
Yes.
But from our perspective, we didn't make the changes that we spoke about in terms of our play at half time. We acknowledged it wasn't good enough. We were capable of better. We were letting ourselves down, and then we're not used to losing, to going behind, and so I'm not too sure we can necessarily cope with it too well. And we got it on top of each other. I think after your equaliser to make it 2-2, we had a 5-minute moment where we were just all at sea because we'd got irate at each other. People were losing their heads. And, we weren't playing as a team, not functioning as a team, not even functioning as individuals because people had lost their heads. And, so we got on top of each other. That obviously didn't help us. But, yeah, Mel's right. There weren't, bar that save. There was another moment we had, but our striker, he didn't get the shot off because he slipped. That was a factor recognition of the pitch. But you're right. There weren't really many other clear-cut chances, and we came unstuck due to a surface we're not comfortable playing on. We can't play dirty, but again, I'm not citing the surface as a factor because two teams had to play on it.
And we're not used to playing like that either. Like we had to find a pitch last minute. So like normally the best pitch games we play are on 4G. Like every game we play on 4G, we're absolutely outstanding. Yeah, but this pitch, we'd not played at this ground before. We literally were just scraping to find a pitch this week. So we found one, and we had no idea what it was going to be like when we got there. Like when I first arrived, I'm like, this pitch is going to be amazing. All the facilities there look amazing. And you step into the pitches, and you're like, fuck.
It's not actually that good. I mean, that sports centre has one changing room.
Yeah. I think it's a school. I think that's where it is. I think it's a school. That's the reason why. So we had a problem with our pitch this season. We were playing at Beckenham Town's ground, and they've shut it for the whole season, midway through the season. So trying to find a pitch halfway through the season, it's impossible. We're just going around trying to find a pitch every week at the moment, which is ridiculous.
Congratulations to Independent, and we briefly spoke offline before coming live. Independent haven't played for this is the first competitive game in over a month. So, so fitness levels and concentration. I mean, you like did say that you guys train, but I mean, again, like, how did like you guys feel after the game? Is it is it now a competition that you guys feel?
We used to a bigger pitch. Yeah, I found the pitch was kind of small. Like they were able to take goal kicks and get it to like nearly the edge of the 18-yard box in the first half, which is ridiculous. Yeah.
He does that on normal pitches anyway. Yeah, he's got a monster
kick. Like we're used to much wider, much bigger pitches. We play our best football on bigger pitches because of speed. So I felt like, and because we train and people run, like I feel like they weren't that winded. Like we only made one substitution because of wind for fitness the whole game. Right? So the rest was just tactical. And we've got a great bench as well. Like we usually have 5 players on our bench, all good enough to come in and play first team football. So for us, it wasn't so much of a running around game because of the pitch and stuff. Like our forward line were doing a bit of running, but because you play the ball through and it goes all the way through or off, so there's not a lot of running to be had. You're only picking up the ball on like counter attacks and then making it. So for us, I didn't think fitness was a thing. Yeah.
And to Herne Bay, I mean, again, it's the second season that you've been knocked out at the quarterfinals stages. So like, is it kind of something about going back to the drawing board? Is it, what's the whole feeling in the camp?
What's the whole thing? I mean, we are stronger this year as a squad. Echoing what Mel said, we had 5 on our bench, which a very, very strong bench for us. So we went with a great squad, but on reflection, we know maybe during the warm-up, we weren't as on it as we were in the previous game. And, that's something we have to look at ourselves. Was there maybe a level of complacency? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I just know the vibe wasn't the same. So for next year, I'm sure we will look to enter again. There hasn't been any chat about it just yet because I'm sure you can understand everyone's still a bit sad and bitter, ruining it. But we will. If we do enter it again next year, we're just going to have to work on maybe learning how to win ugly games. A challenge for us is similar to what Mel said. We play predominantly a 4G. This, to Brees. We're ball players, and we have come unstuck. And teams know this. I'm not saying necessarily you guys do, but in our local league, teams will take us to really shitty pitches, knowing that it's a leveler for us because we can't play our usual game. And I think we need to learn how to try and win games in those scenarios and stop trying to play. Because despite us talking about it on the weekend, you can't play on this pitch. Let's just ping it over the top. It's not pretty, turn them, etc. We didn't. We still tried to play and didn't help each other out for that, So I think that's what we've really got to try and learn how to win a bit uglier, not playing too pretty football.
And Mel, I think it's safe to say that probably Independent are probably one of the best counter-attacking teams in the league with the pace that you guys have. Again, now in the semi-final, I think that the draw is going to be made fairly soon. I guess it's something that now you've got to be very careful of because again, there's Charcoal, there's SP Athletic, there's West Fulham as well. Is it kind of something that you guys now have a strategy in terms of how to play, or literally you just take every game as it comes?
I think we got last season, it's our first season in the Premiership. Like last season, I felt like stepping up to these teams was quite difficult. Like we're not used to playing at that high level every week. So when we're getting them in the cup, we're like, oh, this is another level. And you can't just raise it just for one game, or one game every couple of months. It's very difficult to play at that level. Now we're used to it. Even at the beginning of the season, we were struggling. We were struggling against teams that we would expect to beat. But now we're used to that level. I feel like we can if a team wants to sit deep, we can beat them with ball. As long as the pitch is good enough for us to do it. And if they want to come onto us, then they can come onto us and we can beat them that way as well. So I feel like we're a much better squad. We've got much better players this season than we did. We were able to attract some very good signings in the off season because we were in Division 1, who always said they'd come and play for us as soon as we got promoted. So like I feel like we're this year is the best year that we have, because we played West Fulham, we've been out to them. Like Charcoal are also exceptional. They beat us last season when we played them in the cups. Yeah, so but this year I feel we can match them. Honestly, I feel like there's not a team. We don't go into any game scared that we can't win, or we don't go with any inferiority complex like we used to. Like thinking, this game's gonna be hard. Now this year it's just like, no, you know what? They're just as good as us, and we can beat anyone we play against. I will shout out to Herne. You should definitely come back next year. Like you have some good players. Your left winger was really good. Yeah, the guy in the silver hair in the middle was just winning everything. Like actually, I was actually happy when he came off. So yeah, you're definitely good enough to play in the London Cup. You're definitely good enough to get semis, quarters, finals. So I would say just lick your wounds. We had to do it for a couple of seasons, losing games, traveling all the way across London on a Wednesday night to lose to a team. It's awful when you feel like shit, but it will all heal, and you'll be thankful for the opportunity to play better teams. It will make you a better team. It's made us a better team. Yeah, and it's good to play for me personally. It's nice to play someone outside of London. Like, some teams that we never would have got to play, never got to meet people. And I just appreciate the fact that at this age, I'm still meeting people and teams like Owen that bring something different to the table that I've not seen all the time. Yeah. So, yeah. So definitely come back. You guys will do well. And, if you want a friendly at any point in the off season, holler at us. Yeah, I will you can get my number from Tabriz. We'll definitely come down to you, or you can come down to us. We'll beat you on your 4G pitch if you like. Be murder on a 4G pitch.
Yeah.
More importantly, like I said earlier in the game, they're just a nice bunch of guys. Like you can tell when you're playing. Like there was no bit of everyone. You do a bad challenge, pick someone up, get on with it, and that's the sort of games I like to see. Yeah,
you're right. It didn't. I mean, it looked like at one point right at the end it might slightly boil over, but I remember hearing somebody say very quickly, "Look, it's not been that type of game, lads," and it did just diffuse it. And you're right. Yeah, of course it was competitive. Me personally, I had a physical battle with your striker.
Shame.
Shame. He went off, didn't he?
Yeah. That's the guy said he didn't have the fitness to survive the whole game at the moment. Right, he's still getting he's still getting up his fitness level. Yeah,
I mean, I'm physically hurting from the game. My knees a bit swollen, and it was competitive. Some good tackles, but as you said, Mel, did not overspill. Nice battle. Respect to you guys. We know we didn't give our best account of ourselves, but that's not to take away in any way from Independent as opponents. You were and are a very strong opponent, full of good quality. Two absolute worldies. Again, acknowledging your save at a very crucial moment. Your captain is a centre back.
Yeah, Nathan, he's exceptional. Yeah, he got man of the match.
Yeah. Top player.
He makes a huge difference. It's like we called him Cannavaro back there.
What's his name? Nathan what?
Paul.
Nathan Paul. Yeah, a few of the guys thought they recognised him, and did he? Someone said he might have captained Maidstone at some point or something. Did he ever?
Oh, it might be possible. He played for Beckenham Town, and I think he did play for Maidstone as well. Yeah. He's
okay. Yeah. Well, anyway,
one of our best players. He's immense in every game. He never makes a mistake. Never puts a foot wrong, and he leads by example as a captain.
Yeah, he was quality. Dash, Nino, as you said, quick players. Quality all over the pitch. So well done to Independent. We wish you all the very best. Hope you obviously now go on and win it, so we can say at least that we lost to the eventual.
Yeah, I got echoed at back. Like Herne were a great side. Like they're better than some. They do well in our League One. They're better than a lot of sides we played this season. Very organised. They know what they're doing. I felt like on a better pitch they would have made it a harder game for us. Like they were a bit unlucky with some of the balls they were putting through, and also the balls they put through. It's hard to beat our backline. They're very fast. Like Nathan especially is just a sweeper. He just comes and grabs everything. He's so fast. So. Yeah, but on a bigger pitch, it might have been different. If they scored that goal, it might have been different. So, definitely a great team. They would be up there, like maybe anywhere from 4th to 1st in our team, in our league, I think. They're up there in like top 5.
Yeah. And I've got a few comments. Kamazi Strikers. Nathan is a baller. Yeah, literally, I would say Nathan is probably one of like the best centre-backs in the league. One of like the best players, actually. Not even just a centre-back.
He can play everywhere.
He could play anywhere.
Yeah, it was a standout for us. Yeah, all of us acknowledged that player was a very good player.
Yeah, and Dash too. But but no, again, independent now. Semi-finals. Dare to dream. Like, are we? Is it kind of something that you guys
can do it? Well, like Arsenal this season. No one thought we could do it, and this season, the top of Division 1 at the moment. No, there are a lot of games to be played there. Don't get me wrong. Like, some of the teams have played like 4 games. Yeah, but we got points on the board, so I'm happy. And cups are cups, right? It's always a one-off game. You never know how it's going to go. Like, you might be playing the best team. You might be playing the Man City, but then they might have an off day, like Everton did the other day against them. And you bring it to penalties, or you win the game 1-0, a bit of luck. So dare to dream.
Dare to dream.
Dare to dream.
No, quality. Honestly, Mel and Owen, thank you so much for coming on. And one more thing as well. I don't know if, I guess you guys heard that Sporting Kits and Charcoal, it was a rollover, or literally it was awarded to Charcoal. Yeah. And Sporting Kits also they kind of withdrew themselves from the Surrey Cup as well. And I just want to apologize to Sporting Kits because I said they were struggling for players. However, that's not the case. I just want to say that I don't want to go into too much detail. A lot of stuff going on in the background. So again, I just want to apologize live as Sporting Kits are in the London Vets Cup. But again, well done to independent semi-finalists. And again, looking to go all of the way. Commiserations to Herne, maybe next year. I can't even say who I think is going to win it because again, it's
no. You should bet against us again. Feel free. Yeah.
You know what? Listen,
I'll come back on again.
You know what? So literally, of course, Owen is in the group. So, and of course, Paul's in the group, and he just keeps getting all of these little, how Paul's like, just this and this and this. I'm like, okay, Paul, da, da, da. But hey, you know what? And again, to be honest, I think independent were not even on my radar. If if you want my honest opinion. And of course, as I said at the beginning,
did we beat your team in the cup earlier? So not even be on your radar.
Yeah, listen.
Our last competitive game.
Well, listen, you know what? Again, it is what it is. Like again, I don't want to talk about your other fixtures because, of course, we are talking about the London Vets Cup. But again, I think anyone out there, independent are a different proposition from last year. Do not take independent lightly. They are here to actually take everything. So yeah. Congratulations. And again, guys, thank you so much for coming on. So just to let everyone know that I'll be talking to Jamal regarding the semi-final draw. I believe SP and the Charcoal are playing next week. Again, I just want to thank Owen and Mel for coming on to talk about the fixture. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys on Sunday.
Nice one. Thank you. Nice one, Mel. Thanks for your words. Good luck.